Hey everybody, this is Andrew Alvarez. I know what you're asking. I know what you're thinking. Where you been? Where has the Latino conservative been? Well, I've got that coming up for you here in just a bit. So where has the Latino conservative been? I haven't necessarily been MIA. I've been really busy, extra busy. And I had a project going on that I was going to launch, and that one got put on the back burner too. I even started a new part-time job, and that got put on the back burner too. You see, about 3 years ago, I made the choice to run for Congress, and I just didn't know when or where I was going to run. For Congress, all you have to do is live in the state that you want to run. So I could quite literally live in Brownsville, Texas, but run in El Paso, Texas to be a representative. That's how the law works. So about 3 years ago, I made that choice and I've been working on it. It got put on the back burner for a little bit. Then I decided to pick it up again about the last video that you saw me post. It's not a bad thing. It's actually a really good thing. But what has happened, this campaign has kind of taken a life of its own. It's been extremely grassroots. I haven't spent hardly anything on this campaign. But talk about making waves. That's right. Making some huge, ginormous steps. The most money I've spent on this campaign is actually the filing fees in Texas, which are $3,125. That's the bulk of what I've spent. Everything else has been done organically, has been done social media wise, and I've barely paid anything. I've paid more, I think, on my own merch to myself that I bought for myself than anything else other than the filing fees. When I say merch, I've got a mug that I bought a hoodie, and I put a link to those in the description as well. But the long and short of it is that it's really and truly taken a life of its own. I've done so much with this. Texting, social media, making videos like this. I even got me a nice little setup that I can use for this podcast, which is pretty cool. This right here, I'm not using my phone anymore. Finally got a camera. I got a mic right up here that plugs into the camera, and I've got a light. Ooh, wow. This right here is what I was using for my podcast. That, and I've got a big old mic and a interface and everything, and I would have to travel for work with that. But for the podcast, about 3 months ago, I got that camera, I got this mic and this light set up so I can do this podcast. But lo and behold, campaign happened. Started making waves. You see, in Texas, the districts are large too. Some of the districts, in fact, my district is one of the larger districts that I'm running in. It's about the size of Rhode Island. It goes down from El Campo, Texas, just north of El Campo, Texas, down through Edna, Victoria, Texas, down to Corpus Christi, Texas. And then from Port Lavaca, back through Victoria to Cuero, Gonzales, Luling, Lockhart, and San Marcos. Covers all of that. It's a lot of area for one person to cover. And that's who's been covering it, just me. Grassroots. I've got some friends out there that are helping me out, share posts and stuff like that. But we're getting it done. We are getting it done. And everything that I've heard out there was that we want real representation. And that's a big point of mine, real representation. You see, I'm not one of these people that's just going to go out there and say, I'm going to raise my hand and vote yes for this bill. Or I'm not going to raise my hand and I'm going to vote no for this bill. That's just not me. I understand that though I am a Republican, not everybody's a Republican. And everybody still deserves to be heard. There needs to be some flexibility. Good old politics doesn't work anymore. It doesn't. I'm sorry. I'm not GOP. I'm Republican. Conservative. not GOP, because that's what broke our system as it is today. And I'm not just talking about the GOP that we know, like the Republican part of it. I'm talking about both sides, the old school politics. They are broken. They need to be fixed. And that's why I'm doing this, because we need to keep America working and keep our families safe. Keep our policemen funded. Get them trained. They are overworked. Hire people. Make sure our military is fully funded. And make sure they have the tools to use to keep our country and the world safe. Because whether you like to believe it or not, and whether you like it or not, America's kind of like the big brother. We watch over everybody. With great power comes great responsibility, and we've got great power. We also need to defend ourselves against foes like China and Russia, though it may not be necessarily a war type, a combat type war that we're fighting with them. We still need to be safe from them, from hackers, from them infiltrating our country and stealing our technology. We need to keep our borders safe. We need to keep our borders safe, secured, but we also need to expedite the process to get those who want to come over legit-wise, to get them over legally quick. We have the technology. Let's use it. It's there. So guys, that's where I've been. That's where I've been the last 3 months, is trying to make a voice and trying to be a voice for the people, trying to make a difference. It's not going to be a huge difference all at once, one change at a time. What I'm trying to say is we make one change at a time and we can get things done. Where if we try to make one big, huge conglomerate of changes, people will fight us. And that's what's happening right now. Our own government is fighting ourselves. They're fighting themselves. And they're fighting us by making all of these choices for us without real representation. They're not asking us what we want. They're asking themselves what their pockets want. And that's what I want to fight against. I'm not for my pockets. I'm for the people. So again, guys, that's where I've been for the last 3 or 4 months. And I'm going to keep doing this. God told me to run, so I'm going to run. Go check it out. Go check out my website if you want to drop me some love. www.aaforcongress.com. I'll throw a link to that in the description as well. Facebook, Twitter. I'm not the best on Twitter or Instagram, but I am on Facebook. You can find me there. Look me up. Hit me up. Tell me what you think. My name is Andrew Alvarez. Thank you.